This process of purifying the mind is also recommended by Lord Chaitanya. He says that one should chant Hare Krishna. He says further, Param Vijayate, all glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtana. All glories are given to the chanting of the holy names of Krishna, because as soon as one begins this process of chanting, the mind becomes purified. Cheto darpana marjanam. By chanting the holy name of Krishna, one is cleansed of the dirt that accumulates in the mind. One can purify the mind either by the breathing process or by the chanting process. Just as one can purify gold by putting it in a fire and fanning it with a bellows. So we are reading here Kapila's instructions to Mother Devahuti. He's describing the process of yoga, dhyana yoga. And he talked about the breathing in and breathing out, holding the breath. And in this verse, Lord Kapila is saying, by doing all of this, Mano achirat syat virajam jitashvasasya yoginaha. By such controlled breathing in and out and exhaling, inhaling, holding the breath, jitashvasasya yoginaha, Mano achirat virajam syat. The manas, which is actually very turbulent, very agitated, flickering, very strong, mano achirat syat virajam, becomes very quickly achirat virajam syat. It becomes peaceful, becomes freed from disturbances. Mano achirat syat virajam jitashvasasya yoginaha. Yatha, just as, loham, gold, vayu agnibhyam dmatham tyajati vai malam. Just as gold, when you smelt it and fan it, malam tyajati, it gives up all its impurities. In the same way, the mind becomes freed from impurities and becomes free from disturbance. And so, the yogis who practice such breathing exercises are very soon freed from all mental disturbances. Mana achirat syat virajam. Just as gold, loham, when put into fire and fanned with water, vayu agnibhyam dmatham, becomes free from all impurities. Malam tyajati. And Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport about chanting Hare Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains the first effect of chanting Hare Krishna is to be cheto dharpana marjanam, cheta marjanam, chitta marjanam, to cleanse our heart. And Prabhupada compares this and then and both the process of this breathing and the chanting are meant for purifying the mind. But of the two, in Kali Yuga, chanting is the one that is recommended. Because we have seen here some of the instructions, Shuchau deshe pratisthapya vijitasanam tasmin swasti samasina, and all of these instructions are there, that how one should go to a holy place, secluded place, sacred place, and which is not possible for everyone in Kali Yuga. And the more easy process given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the chanting of the Hare Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada went to the West in the 1960s, 65, 66, at that time, transcendental meditation, known as TM, I don't know how many of you are familiar, young devotees may not be knowing, it was quite a popular thing in America in the 1960s. It was popularized by one Maharshi Mahesh Yogi. And wherever Srila Prabhupada traveled, he would come across some of these Westerners who would be practicing this here and there. So once in 1967, there was one encounter with some of the transcendental meditation practitioners. And actually, in all of these encounters, Prabhupada was, actually we can see, Srila Prabhupada was very, very smart in argumentation. He was very sharp. He would catch them at the right point. So, there were a few of these TM followers. And then Srila Prabhupada was telling that how chanting is the process of meditation that is recommended in this age. Chanting the holy names and meditation on the mantra. And the whole discussion went on. And then that person, the guest who was practicing transcendental meditation, he said something like, "Oh, you are saying chanting is a kind of meditation. That's not the kind that Maharshi teaches." And so Srila Prabhupada asked, "So what is transcendental meditation?" Then that person was suddenly taken aback and he said, well, I don't know. Anyway, I will try to explain. So immediately Srila Prabhupada said, No. If you don't know, don't explain. You don't have to try artificially. If you know, you explain. If you don't know, don't try artificially. No, I know I little and, like that. So no. If you don't know, you should not speak. Right? Yes, if I don't know. Then Srila Prabhupada went on. So as far as I understand, Maharshi says that you should meditate for 15 minutes. He said, yes, 15 minutes. And then he says, 15 minutes, he says, twice a day. So Srila Prabhupada says, okay, 15 minutes, twice a day, 30 minutes. And then he corrects. No, he says we should meditate for 15 minutes to 1 hour. So Srila Prabhupada says, all right, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the afternoon. So meditation for 2 hours, right? And he says, yes. Then Prabhupada asked the question, now you tell me, someone who is doing meditation for 2 hours a day and someone else doing meditation 24 hours a day, which is better meditation? So then he understands that Prabhupada is... So then he says, so you mean to say I should do chanting 24 hours a day? So Srila Prabhupada says, no, chanting and many other kinds of engagement. So then he says, the transcendental meditation. No, according to Maharshi, that immediately Srila Prabhupada cuts in and says, you said you don't know what is transcendental meditation, so you should not talk. So he is sort of taken aback. And then again Prabhupada continues the conversation. So he says, okay, what is the process that he teaches? And then that person says, he gives us a mantra. And so Prabhupada asks, so what is that mantra? And he says, the mantra, I cannot say it loud. That's his process. So Prabhupada says, so it's a secret mantra? He says, the other person says, no, it is not a secret mantra. If I say it loud, it will ruin its power. Its power will decrease. So Prabhupada says, see, the mantra that we give, it is not any secret, the Hare Krishna mantra, and more loudly you chant, more powerful it will become. So, like this, there were many occasions when Prabhupada used to come across these kind of things. Later on in 1975, Srila Prabhupada was in Atlanta. At that time, there was one devotees introduced Srila Prabhupada to one new bhakta who had joined some months ago. And they brought that bhakta to Srila Prabhupada, and the devotees there, the GBC who was there, he introduced Srila Prabhupada. This is Bhakta Doug. Bhakta Doug was a serious transcendental meditation practitioner. And he was for many years practicing, and he became very close to Maharshi. And so he wants to say, and then they are introducing Bhakta Doug to Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada begins to talk, and then he asks him, what does Maharshi do, etc. And then he explains that how he came in touch with Maharshi Yogi, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, and he started the transcendental meditation in Washington DC and helped them to open a center there. And he he also became an advanced practitioner and so on. And then he says at some point Maharshi Mahesh Yogi created a university called Maharshi International University in California somewhere. And then they took over a university, and then they were creating curriculum and all of those things. And then he created a small body of executive council of his very senior practitioners. And Bhakta Doug was one of those members in that executive council. And he says that Maharshi called this executive council, he would call us, that council, 108 council. So it is not that it had 108 people, it just had a few people, but it was called 108. And then this people in the 108 council, they were supposed to develop some curriculum, how to teach meditation in universities, etc. And once Maharshi, with those people in the council, 108, they went to some far off mountains so that they can prepare and do the work seriously. And at that time, those few people were doing the curriculum preparation and all of that. And Maharshi was going into the mountains, and he would be in solitude for many hours and come back and go, and he would talk very little. And then when they asked him, he said that he was studying and meditating on Brahma Sutras. So he would go, come, like that. One day, after several days of going like that for meditation and coming back, one day, these people, the 108 council people, they asked Maharshi, however they were addressing him, we don't know, what have you realized by the meditation? Before that, actually, another thing that Bhakta Doug mentions, because this is 1975 what I am talking about. So by then Krishna consciousness was also well established and spread in America. So there were occasions when some of the followers of Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, they would ask Mahesh Yogi, what do you think about Krishna consciousness? And he would give evasive answers. He would not give any correct answer. Again and again that topic would come up, Bhakta Doug says. in the discussions with Maharshi Mahesh Yogi. What is this consciousness? What is this Krishna? What are these Hare Krishnas? What are they doing? And he would not give any proper answer to that one. So it went on like that, and then they went to the mountain, and then this preparation, and then he would do his meditation on Brahma Sutras for many days, and then he came back, and then they asked him this question. What have you realized by meditating on Brahma Sutras? And then Maharshi Mahesh Yogi was very silent. He was very solemn. And then he said, the highest state of consciousness is Krishna consciousness. And then when Bhakta Doug says that when he heard that, next day he left the 108 counts and came looking for a temple, and then he became a Bhakta Doug and so on. So like this, people talk about meditation and all of those things, but what is the real purpose of meditation? What is the object of meditation? What is the standard of meditation? Very rarely people follow these things. Krishna very clearly says, meditation is matpara, should be on me, absorbed in me. Here also Kapila Deva said, Purusharchanam, worshipping the Supreme Person, and Vaikunta Leela Dhyanam, to remember the pastimes of the Lord in Vaikunta. It is very personalistic. But not many people follow these things. There is another very interesting verse in the Bhagavatam. This is a verse in the 7th canto. Narsimha Deva had appeared, killed Hiranyakashipu, and Narsimha's anger was so much. Narsimha, because he was angry at Hiranyakashipu, because Prahlada, as a young boy, was being so much tortured by the father. So Narsimha was so enraged. The Lord was so enraged. And he ripped him up, killed him. And then he sat down. And still he was so angry. And all the devatas had appeared. Lord Brahma was there. And all the devatas got together and they started chanting different prayers to Narasimha. Still Narasimha's anger was so much. Then they said Lakshmi should offer some prayers. Lakshmi also said, I had never seen him in this kind of a fury. And then Brahma said, Prahlada, you go. You go and fall at his feet. So angry at your father. And so Prahlada came and fell at Narasimha's feet. Then Narasimha looked at him. That's the verse. Very beautiful. Bhagavatam says, Svapada mule patitam tam arbhakam. Arbhakam means the small boy. Patitam arbhakam. That small boy had fallen at his feet. Svapada mule, at his own lotus feet. Svapada mule patitam tam arbhakam. Vilokya deva. He looked. And all his anger suddenly vanished. Krupaya pariplutaha. Pariplutaha actually means, pariplutaha means to be immersed in or bathed in. He became filled with krupaya pariplutaha. He saw the small boy falling at his feet. Vilokya deva krupaya pariplutaha. He became so krupaya pariplutaha, he became ecstatic. We generally hear devotees becoming ecstatic about the Lord. Here the Lord becoming ecstatic about his devotee. That was the level of Prahlad's devotion. He could put Lord in ecstasy by his devotion. Swapada mule patitam tamarbhakam vilokya deva krupaya pariplutaha uttapya. He said, Prahlad, get up. Uttapya. And Prahlad got up with folded hands. He was coming before Narsimha. Tat shirshnya adadhat karambujam. He reached out to Prahlad. Tat shirshnya, his shirshnya, adhadat, he placed karambujam. Ambujakara, the lotus palm of Narsimha, he placed on the head of Prahlad. Uttapya tat shirshnya adhadat karambujam. Kalahi vitrustha dhyam krita bhayam. This is Lord Narsimha's nature, krita abhayam. He wants to make devotees abhayam, krita abhayam. He wants to make them free from fear. Fear of what? Kalahi vitristha dhyam krita bhayam. Kalahi. Kala is time. Ahi means serpent. Kalahi vitristha dhyam. The nature of Kala, serpent of Kala, is such that we never know when Kala will strike us. And Kala, he always is a source of fear for the living entities in the material world. No one can be sure of anything in the material world. That's the nature of material world. If someone is thinking, I am very safe, I am this and that, and it's simply an illusion. That's the reality of the material existence. And that is why it creates fear in the living entities. And the Lord does not want living entities to suffer in this way. So He always wants to give fearlessness. So, swapadamule patitam tamarbhakam vilokya deva krupaya pariplutaha uttapya tat shirshnya adadat karambujam kalahi vitrustha dhyam. Dhyam, his consciousness, vitrustha dhyam kalahi krita bhayam. That was his intent. After saying this, the next verse, the Bhagavatam says, what happened to Prahlad when Tatshirshnya Adadat Karambujam Adadat? What happened? Satat Karasparsha. Tat Karasparsha. As soon as Lord Narsimha touched Prahlada's head, Satat Karasparsha Dautakila Shubhaha. Dauta means to become purified, cleansed. Dauta. Diyanu Pashyantihi. Shukadev's Goswami's prayers also talks about that. By meditating on the lotus feet, one becomes Dauta. One becomes purified. Dauta Akila Ashubhaha. Akila Ashubhaha Dauta. Sparsha. By tat karasparsha, by his touch of his hand, lotus hand. Satat karasparsha dauthakila ashubhaha sapadya abhivyakta paratma dharshanaha. Sapadya, immediately, abhivyakta paratma darshanaha. Paratma darshanaha, the transcendental realization of paratma, of transcendence, abhivyakta, became fully manifest in the heart of Prahlad. Sapadya abhivyakta paratma dharshanaha tatpada padmam hridi nirvrito dadau. And Prahlad captured, dadau, he captured tat pada padmam. He captured the lotus feet of the Lord in his heart. Hridi nirvruto, and he became gladdened in his heart. Hrishyat tanuhu, and his body started manifesting all the symptoms. Hair standing on end, and the entire body became electrified. Klinna hrid, and heart became joyful. Klinna hrid, ashrulochana, and tears started flowing from the eyes of Prahlada. So just by his touch, Prahlada got up and he was ecstatic and fully realized, fully cleansed of all akila ashubhaha, and hrishyat tanuhu, klinna hrid, ashrulochanaha, and tears were flowing from Prahlada's eyes. Just by the touch of Narasimhadevas on the head of Prahlada. So these are the two very nice verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada in March of 1977, Prabhupada was in Mayapur just before Gaur Purnima, and Prabhupada was giving lecture on these verses. And this verse, Satat Karasparsha, Dautakila Shubhaha, on that verse, Prabhupada explained that this is the effect that the Lord's touch had on Prahlada. And then he was explaining the whole thing. And towards the end, there's a very interesting paragraph, there is a very interesting statement that Srila Prabhupada makes, and he concludes this talk. Very significant, very special, of how Srila Prabhupada conveys some of the very, very elevated spiritual thoughts in simple English language for us to understand and appreciate. I'll read this paragraph. So as Narasimhadeva touched the head of Prahlada Maharaj, immediately you can have the same facility. Prahlada Maharaj was so fortunate. Narasimha touched him. But Prabhupada is saying, so as Narasimhadeva touched the head of Prahlada Maharaj, immediately you can have the same facility. What is that facility? How? Narasimhadev is not here. Krishna is not here. You may say. So Prabhupada himself is creating a conversation. And what is that facility? How? Narasimhadev is not here. How you are saying he can touch and you can have the same facility? Immediately you can have the same facility. How can you say? Narasimhadev is not here. Krishna is not here. No, he is here. What is that? Prabhupada has created a conversation between himself and no, he is here. What is that? Nama Rupe Kalikale Krishna Avatar. Krishna is present by his name. Krishna. Don't think this Krishna, Hare Krishna, this name is different from Krishna. Absolute. Krishna, the deity, the name Krishna, the person Krishna, everything the same absolute truth. There is no differentiation. Simply by chanting the name of Krishna, Nama Chintamani Krishnaha, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto. Don't think the holy name of Krishna is different from Krishna. It is Purnam. Purna means complete. So stick to the holy name of Krishna. You will get the same benefit as Prahlada Maharaj got by direct touch of the lotus palm of Narasimhadeva. There is no difference. Always think like that. That as soon as you are chanting Hare Krishna, you must know that you are touching Krishna with your tongue. then you get the same benefit as Prahlada Maharaj. Always think like that. That as soon as you are chanting Hare Krishna, you must know that you are touching Krishna with your tongue. Then you get the same benefit as Prahlada Maharaj. So, this is not a small thing. And when Prabhupada said this, and all the devotees cheered and said, Hari Bol. And so that's how Prabhupada ends that lecture. And so, just like Prahlada had Karasparsha, touch of the lotus feet, lotus palm of the Lord, in the same way we can also have Jihva Sparsha, touch of the Lord through our tongue by the chanting of the holy name. So, chanting, Prabhupada is saying here, we should always think like that. We should know this is the Krishna's holy name. Krishna is present. And by touching Krishna, all of these effects that Prahlada experienced, we can also experience. That is the power of the holy name of Krishna. And that is how it produces, it cleanses and brings about all these effects that Kapila is describing, Kapila Deva is describing in the context of Dhyana Yoga. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.